So then, why didn't I leave? That's a question that I've been asked quite a few times. Why? So if it was so bad, why did you stay?
Right. So that's a classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it brings up all of that. It brings up a bunch of shame for you, right? It brings up a bunch of guilt. It brings up a bunch of what the heck is wrong with me, right? So the reality is, what was your life like? What did you learn about quitting early on? Right. So all, right, I can even...
We don't quit.
Right.
My family doesn't quit.
Yes.
No.
So, and I can see it even in your body, right? You're all
I can
tight.
feel it. You have those.
Yes. I have goosebumps again.
Your mirror neurons are like, oh,
yes.
God.
So that's why you didn't leave.
Oh, my word.
Because that's a really old belief in your system that you learned way early on. Right? And it was really productive and helpful your whole life. It got you through school. It got you through all your children. It got you through, right? I just don't quit. I just do this thing. And at the end, it's going to be okay.
Oh, the super funny word. I have integrity. That's what I kept telling myself.
Yes.
I mean, the world is going to hell around me. And, but it's all right. I'm going to stay. I've got integrity. I'm going to finish out my contract. I've got integrity. Now I'm like, oh, dumbass, what was your problem? You should have run away a long time before. But,
right. And so what our right? So our belief system overrides and that's a societal issue, right? It's why we call it PTSD instead of shell shock or instead of just straight up trauma. Right? Because everybody who has trauma doesn't have to have PTSD. I got squished between two cars, and I knew enough about trauma to have to manage it myself, right? And what I remember about the car accident was actually very funny. Like I remember, NPR's on, so I'm safe, right? And so what did I do? I got out of the car, I sat on the side of the road. There was a woman in one of the cars that came over and just talked to me, and having that connection with her, acknowledging that I just had a really scary thing happen to me, right, was really important. And so you didn't have anybody saying, hey, this is really scary. That's crazy that you don't feel safe at all. How can I help you? In fact, you had lots of people saying, what's the big deal? Everybody has this.
Right.
What's your problem?
What's your problem?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, again, threatening that connection, which you needed so desperately because there were so few connections that were okay and safe there.
Keep listening to find out what good came of this trauma.